What is going on, everybody? Drawdown King here. Coming to you with a little bit of stuff. Fear, panic, and freezing up while trading. What to do? You ever felt like this guy here, trade? You're in a big winning trade, then it turns into a losing trade, and you add more. It keeps going down, you add more, you add more, you add more. You're way down, you're fearful. You're fearful to end. You saw a good trade here, you're fearful to get in, then you get in up here, then you go too large and you add too much, then you short a bunch of shit right before the close of market and you hold it over the weekend stocks, and you've left positions open overnight, massive trades open every single night, every day of the week. You don't know what to do. You got in a trade and you're instantly down, and should I close it? Should I add to it? Should I keep holding it? Was my analysis off? Is my analysis shit? Am I just not worth a damn? All that kind of fun stuff. And I get tired of seeing all this streaming and shit. Oh, it's so great. It's so easy to copy trade all these accounts. And you see people getting pissed. It's all fear. I don't give a fuck. It's all fear. It's all panic. I don't want to be this guy, do you? Gal, whatever. If you're a gal. That looks like a guy to me. I could be wrong. We're getting to a off-topic discussion here. Fear. Let's go ahead and break it down. Feeling fear. Let's go ahead and take a look. Fear is one of the 7 universal emotions experienced by everyone around the world. Fear arises with the threat of harm, either physical, emotional, or psychological, real or imagined. Traditionally considered a negative emotion, fear actually serves an important role in keeping us safe, and it mobilizes us to cope with potential danger. They state here that it can be broken into 3 factors: intensity, how severe, harm's threat, and timing. Is the harm immediate or impending? Coping, what if any actions can be taken to reduce or eliminate the threat? Well, to cope with the threat, this lesson removes the fear. Generally, when you're helpless to decrease the threat of harm, this intensifies. I'm going to save this. We'll do a presentation on this eventually. We'll put it up and do it right. For now, we're doing it the way we do it, and we may never actually do it again. We may just be talking about it. They've got a chart here from least intense trepidation, nervousness, anxiety, dread, desperation, panic, horror, the terror. What makes us fearful? They say universal trigger for fear is a threat of harm, real or imagined. This threat can be for our physical, emotional, or psychological well-being. While there are certain things that trigger fear in most of us, we can learn to become afraid of nearly anything. Examples be death and dying, snakes, rodents, spiders, and other animals, social interaction and or rejection, heights and flying, darkness or loss of visibility of surroundings. Persistent fear can sometimes be referred to as anxiety. We feel constantly worried without knowing why. Inability to identify the trigger prevents us from being able to remove ourselves the actual threat from the situation. Well, anxiety is a common experience for many people. It can be considered a disorder when it is recurrent, persistent, intense, and interferes with basic life tasks such as work and sleep. Read here, okay? Facial expression of fear is often confused with surprise. While both expressions show distinctly raised eyebrows, if fear expression's eyebrows are straighter and more horizontal, where in surprise they're raised and curved. The upper eyelids also lifted higher in fear than in surprise, exposing more sclera, wide of the eye. Finally, the lips are tensed and stretched in fear, but more open and slack in surprise. Got an example here. Vocal expressions of fear. When experiencing fear, one's voice often has a higher pitch and more strained tone. One may also scream. Sensations of fear. Common sensations include feeling cold and shortness of breath. May also include sweating and trembling or tightening of muscles in the arms and legs. Posture of fear. The posture of fear can either be one of mobilizing or immobilizing, freezing or moving away. Functions of fear. Universal function of fear is to avoid or reduce harm depending on what we have learned in the past about what can protect us in dangerous situations. We're capable of doing many things we wouldn't typically be able or willing to do in order to stop that threat. The immediate threat of harm focuses our attention, mobilizing us to cope with the danger. This way, fear may actually save our lives of forcing us to react without having to think about it. The evolutionary preset actions of fear include fight, flight, and freezing. Right there. While traditionally considered a negative emotion, fear actually serves an important role in keeping us safe. It can, however, also keep us feeling trapped and prevent us from doing things we'd like to. Whereas some people find fear nearly intolerable and avoid the emotion at all costs, others experience pleasure from feeling fear and seek it out, watching a horror film. Responding to fear in others takes a well-developed capacity for compassion and respect. Feel sympathetic toward and patiently reassure someone who's afraid of something we are not afraid of. Most of us dismiss such fears. We do not need to feel another person's fear to accept it and to help them cope. All right, we got a website here. Don't know what this is. Ran across it. Doing a Google search, which you also can do. And if everybody did Google searches, may not need to do videos like this. Fear, what's some 4 fears they say? Being able to perform well under pressure. Let's go ahead and click on this shit. This is scary shit right here. You have to select all images with a car. Okay. Right. That one. What the fuck is that? Alright, I just wanted to try and read this shit. Now, I'm fearful. I'm not fearful. I'm just thinking it's stupid that I gotta do this. All images with car. Is that not a car? You can't select it. Is that not a car? Is that a car? Windows R. We'll give it one more chance. Control V. Press enter. Alright, hopefully that didn't screw our stream up because I'm not redoing it if so. Oh, hey, howdy, hey. Hopefully his shit's been working okay here. And we'll try this one more time and then we are moving on. Just sort of look like what we were looking for there. And maybe not. And we're going to say no to this website. Looks good. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, and fear of selling. All right. I don't know what that one is. And then there's actually a movie called Fear as well. Maybe you can watch it. I don't know. I don't care. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. Trading psychology help. Selling you something here. You can tell by looking at it here. Interesting, yet I'm not covering it. And then you can see how I overcame my fear. And maybe we shouldn't be using Google Chrome because we don't really trust it and we think it's a piece of shit. All right. No problem. We do think that Chrome is a piece of shit browser. That's not very fearful, is it? Just take a look here. Basic emotions can affect rational thinking. Deep down, we're still animals. Emotions can affect your trading behavior. Trading under fear. Saying not to enter a trade because of the potential of losing. Phenomenon called the sunk cost effect. Sticking to a losing trade because of the time and money invested in it. Not closing a losing trade because the loss will be accounted for while there's a potential for it to recover in the future. Closing a trade too early because of fear of losing the profit gained so far. And you see all this stuff here, trading in fear and all this things that they've got on the web. Let me tell you, it can be dark. It can be a journey into the pits of hell. You embrace the fear, you may have more fear. You have paralysis and confusion, you say? Being such a powerful emotion at a base level, fear tends to cloud our judgment when experiencing fear on any level. If we are not aware of it, or we do not know how to deal with it, it will paralyze us, such as paralysis analysis. We actually reduce our mental and cognitive resources, forcing us to use a more primitive portion of our brain called the limbic system, our most ancient brain. You may have heard this as fight or flight, but really when fear takes a hold of us, we are separated from our natural intelligence in the moment, and we most surely need it. We become the deer on the headlights, frozen when we should act, and this leads to confusion. Having no awareness of fear of being run over by it, we take the path of confusion, and this leads to bad trading decisions. Perhaps not pulling the trigger even though our system has a signal. Perhaps leveraging too little for being afraid of losing money. Whatever the reason, fear at the basic level is of no use to us, and if anything at all, is highly damaging to our life and our trading performance. The only way to pass stage one of relating to fear is to become aware of it, then realize how it affects you. Once you do this, you have the ability to use fear, which is just a highly potent energy. If you have trouble becoming aware of fear, there are several options, such as doing yoga, practicing meditation before trading, listening to binaural beats, or using a neurofeedback device to monitor your neural activity. Any will work in their own way, but they will help you become aware of it to get past stage one. Without it, you will forever be a servant to your fears, but after this, you can use fear to your advantage, which is the next stage. You ever freeze up? You get fearful, missing out on a trade, and you jump in too late? You get fearful of taking a trade, and you don't take it, and you watch it go and the trade play out? You go too large because you're just fearful of not trading for the day? You're fearful of not making money for the session? You've had a slow week and this needs to be your time to shine? You see YouTube videos of people making ridiculous profits, copy trading 20 to 3 billion plus accounts, who's probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on evaluations that you would never have the money to spend on them. To play such a game, Yet you're fearful of not following their lead, not getting those profits, being called a pussy for not making that money. Okay? Using fear to your advantage. Imagine being aware that you have the fear of failure. It could, like in stage 1, paralyze you from making an important decision. But it can also be used to enhance your performance. It can be used to your advantage to become a better trader. In The Dark Knight Rises, Batman wasn't afraid of dying. This lack of fear of death separated him from an energy to do something beyond normal. He even used this fear for his gain. A fear can be used for trading. Imagine being afraid to fail, which in stage 1 means you are paralyzed. But if you have the awareness of it, recognize your fears, you can use this energy, which is all fear and emotion are, to perform better. You can use this to work harder, to do the things that build your skills, to practice your technique and system more, to put more hours behind the chart, to fear failure more than inaction. Fear can be used to push you to the next level, and it is often fear is at the root of someone who is highly driven. They fear the outcome of failure, so they work harder to make sure it never happens. In stage 2, fear is used in an energy to enhance your performance, to work harder than the next person, to not accepting mediocrity, as you know how it sets you back. Instead of being paralyzed and confused by fear, you transform it into a vehicle for your success. If done correctly, it can bring you a tremendous increase to your efforts, which can lead to success. And although this may seem like a victory, it is a limited one, and certainly not the golden prize, which is the next stage. Generally, successful traders have fear, but they use this to their advantage and have built a successful trading mentality. You always hear stage 3, a transformation of fear. You always hear about fear and greed in trading, but this comes from the belief they cannot be overcome. This is short-sighted and misunderstands the mind. Fear can be transformed into something you are rid of. Imagine how you would be able to act in trading in life if you were without fear of death, without fear of loss, without fear of failure. Imagine if you had to deal with those energies, that all your intelligence and wisdom was directed to the problem at hand, to the moment. You would never even have to take the side road of using it for your advantage. You could just act freely, uninhibited, and without hesitation. There would be nothing to protect, no future scenario you worried about, and nothing to lose. Fear does not have to be a part of your life, and especially your trading. Just imagine what you could do without fear. Imagine if your resources were used to advance your trading in life. Go over your trading journal and look at how many times you hesitated with the trade ending up a highly profitable winner. I'm willing to bet if you turn these non-trades into profits or losing trades into winners, you would have a completely different account than you do today. Good things, you do not have to become a Buddhist monk or a Shaolin warrior to overcome your fear. With a little ERT training and willingness on your part, fear can be transformed. Your neural pathways can be reprogrammed towards success, intelligence, and wisdom, all without fear. It's really just a question of will, effort, and a desire to take things to the next level in trading and life. On an ending note, Ask yourself where you are in your experience with fear and trading. And then ask yourself what you have done about it and what you would do to turn the corner. Ask yourself, what are you willing to do to become a successful trader? I have tons of students email me saying they will do anything. But when the moment comes, time and time again, they choose the path of fear. They choose to not take the risk, which is what this game is about, financial and psychological. Our decisions and focus determine what we manifest in trading in life. The question of how it ends is always within you. In reality, trading is putting yourself in front of a mirror where you're given two choices. Either become prey to your weakness, confusions, and fear, or rise to overcome them and empower yourself to live a different life. Regardless of which path you take, I hope this Trader Psychology article has provoked, challenged, and inspired you to look at fear in a different way and given you opportunities to take your trading to the next level. All right. Let's see what this is. We're going to look around a little bit. Quantum reflex analysis goes into position sizing, goes into this. I don't know anything about it. See if we can find anything else here. Becoming fear as a day trader. So I'll maybe have to build a little case. It'd be cool if you could have some impulse and some feedback. That was probably the best article I've found while looking around here. Managing your fear. It causes traders to exit trades too early when they see a small loss or get shaken up by normal market fluctuations. These big gains on the table had they exhibited patience during temporary drawdowns. When overwhelmed by emotions, traders act impulsively rather than sticking to their trading strategies. They may override stop losses or disregard technical signals in the heat of market volatility. A disciplined system gets tossed aside. Managing emotions properly, traders methodically follow rules, analyze charts objectively, quickly cut losses, and let winners run. Key tenets for trading success. Their mental composure allows them to protect trading capital, preventing blowing up accounts. Anxiety that causes reluctance to enter trades or prematurely exiting positions. And you have some other stuff here. Right here, fear journaling. Note market days that induce fear, anxiety, or hesitation. Track reactions. Over time, patterns emerge, allowing traders to separate emotions from probabilities. And then there's some other stuff here as well. Looks pretty well written. We're going to go ahead and get back to the image now, shall we? Shall we get back to the image? Are we back in the image here? Where's our image? We don't know. Is this it right here? And that would not be the correct image we are looking for. Damn it. Damn it, Pee-wee. All right, and what else? I think we had another browser open there as well a minute ago. Maybe we restored that and get our image back. Fear, panic, and freezing up in trading. Keep your mind on your process. Don't think about things outside the trading environment that can impact your trading. The thing that we haven't realized is and talked about is when you're talking about fear, it's not always about the charts. It's not always about the trade you're in. It's about your environment. It's about your health. It's about your mental health, your physical health, your friends, your family's health, their well-being, financial stability, relationships, your job. You got to be somewhere. What's going to be for dinner? What's going to be tomorrow? What am I doing this weekend? What am I doing for the holidays? How does this impact you when you are trading as you've got a big soup, a big stew, per se, brewing in your head? It's not always about this, but then you get into these trades based upon the psychology of what's going on in your head, all these external factors. And there's no easy way to eliminate that other than to work on those external factors and to minimize the threats that they can impose on your psyche. You've got 100 million things coming at you. You've got news. You've got social media. You've got your phone with all kinds of messages and pop-ups and alerts for this, alerts for that, signals for this, signal for that. You've got your wife talking to you or yelling at you in that situation. You've got friends or family. You've got phone calls. You've got meetings. You've got, I don't feel good today. I'm sick. I had too much caffeine. I didn't eat right. I ate a food that didn't agree with me. I've got a food allergy, and that food that I just had triggered the allergy. Just wanted to cover a few things, but note that it's not just what's listed in the text, and it's fearful of the markets, or fearful of gains, or fearful of losses. That can be a side effect of what's going on in your life and what's going on in your head, your diet, your exercise program, your supplements if you take them, all the concerns of the digital lifestyle, and all these interferences that happen all day and night, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Then it's your job to go into this, to manage those, to shut those off, or to accept them to the best of your ability and manage your time with your charts. Because whenever you let those thoughts flood into your mind, you're going to make a really bad decision. You're going to gamble trade. You're going to average down. You're going to hold positions too long that are losers. You're going to blow accounts. You might have some really big wins, but those wins are not easily replicated. You could have luck, you could have disasters, but the biggest thing you have to do is you manage your time, manage your thoughts, manage your emotions and your connections to the digital landscape that is always bombarding you with scary messages and scary things in the news and scary weather and scary diseases and scary this and scary pandemic and scary this and that, and this politician does this, or this one says this, and this is going to lead to this, or this is going to lead to that. Who cares about any of that shit? Leave it, process it, shit it out, be done with it, and then manage your life as effectively as you can. Trade based upon the amount of energy and time you have. And anytime fear from those external sources start affecting your trades, you're done. You're done for the day. You're done for the week. You're done for the holidays. You're done for the summer. You're done for these things that trigger in these periods of time in your life. They have too many external influences where you're not effectively able to trade. And maybe, just maybe, you can manage your trades day to day, make effective decisions, follow your charts, your research, and your studies, and be able to give it your 100%. And if nothing works, supplements, exercise, these things don't work, dropping caffeine, cutting gluten, considering taking meat out of your diet and going vegan, I mean, reducing your calorie consumption, reducing your sugar, your salt, looking on Amazon or looking at supplements that could suppress or help to manage and make you calmer. Nothing works. Nothing. You may not be able to trade. Maybe you can analyze. Maybe you become an analyst. Maybe you can, if you have information, you can share it with others and create things to where others can take advantage because you're not able to. Maybe you're not able to now. Maybe you're not able to in a few weeks, but in a few months you are, or a few years, or maybe a few decades. We don't know. Not everybody's Michael Jordan. Not everybody's a bench player. Not everybody is even able to get on that team. So all things may not work for everybody. Some things may or may not, and nothing may work for others. So it's just a matter of approaching it and see where you fit in the grand scheme of things. But fear, panic, and freezing up may be temporary, maybe semi-permanent or permanent, and you cannot escape their grips. You need to come to terms to where you are, and if you're even going to be in the state of mind to continue on, or whether you need to look at other pursuits in your search for happiness and your search for the truth that can unlock these fears, panics, and freezing up in not only your trading, but your conversations, your day-to-day, and your life. That's all we got here from Team Drawdown King. We grabbed a little bit from the web there, and we did our own spill as well. Have a great day, everybody, but be careful. Don't let your fears become your worst enemy.